Okay, welcome back. This is the final, or the epilogue, I guess you could say. So we're heading back to Fleet's End, and we are going to talk to Seika for the final time, and that will conclude the end of the game. Let's see. I can't fast travel. Are you kidding me? Alright. Where are you at, Seika? Oh, that music sounds so welcoming. I'll tell you right now. That was absolutely awesome. I didn't think we were ever going to fight a Horus at all. I didn't think we were actually ever going to see it actually come up and activate. That was awesome. I think they did a great job on that.
Aloy, when we saw the Metal Devil rise from the hills, it was as if the time of ashes had come again. To think the two of you defeated it by yourselves, it staggers the imagination. And that's not even your most important feat, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for returning our lost brothers and sisters. What else can I say but that we are in your debt?
All I ask is that you give my friend here the credit she deserves for all the risks she took.
I would have it no other way.
Is he gonna try to take your focus?
I was wondering the same thing.
Well, he can't. You're gonna need it. I'll show you why. Seika, meet Alva. The two of you will need to coordinate in order to reunite the expedition.
Beta briefed me already. I'm so glad to see you guys. You should have heard the cheer that went up when I told the others here in Landfall that your half of the fleet survived.
Diviner Alva, it's an honor.
Likewise. Well, we can chat about all the details later. For now, shouldn't you two be celebrating the fact that you just took down a Zenith and a Horus? Come on. Away with you.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm pretty terrible at celebrating. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, I'm a sailor, so it usually starts with alcohol. I think we have some bilge blaze. You know, spirits distilled from whatever hasn't spoiled in the ship's stores.
Oh, you make it sound so good.
Yeah, it's not really for beginners, so you get a pass this time.
Okay.
But there is something I wanted to talk to you about. Meet me back where we first met when you can, okay?
Okay. I'll see you there. So, Seika wants to talk. It's good. And I know I need to move on soon, but I'm not really ready to say goodbye to her just yet. Before I find her, maybe I should look for her sister around the settlement, just to see how she's holding up.
I do actually want to talk to her sister because she had quite the big head towards what's-his-face, Walter.
You gonna be on duty soon?
Okay, here she is. Let's go talk to her really quick. I want to know what she has to say. There she is.
My sister's friend.
Hi, Kina. I'm Aloy. We didn't get properly introduced before.
Of course. Seika told me about everything you did to bring me back. You must think I'm such a fool.
No,
I keep replaying everything in my mind, and I still can't understand how I could have been so wrong. When Walter appeared to us, he really did seem divine.
well, he had a lot of experience manipulating people. Centuries,
promised a whole new world, with me at his side. To think it was all a lie, and I fell for it.
Look, you've been through a lot. I'm sure it will take you some time to work through it. Just try to remember that Seika's been through a lot too, okay? She risked exile to find you, not to mention death.
And I abandoned her. I don't know if she'll ever forgive me.
She will. But you might have to work for it a little.
I'll do my best.
Good luck, Kina.
Man, I'm telling you, those battles, those massive battles like that, I absolutely love them. It really gets your adrenaline going. Okay, so can I go here or... So I literally have to travel there. Alright, I'm going to transition to it because it will definitely take some time to get there. Okay, so we're here, and of all places, I thought it was...
You must feel pretty good. Got your sister back, your people. What's next for the woman of the hour?
You're the one who ripped apart a metal devil from the inside. I think you should get a bit of credit too.
Maybe a little.
As for what's next, the Admiral's going to need my help to reunite our half of the expedition with Alva up north. And after that, I don't know. I don't think things will ever be the same with my sister or my people.
You're not gonna sail back with him?
I want to see home again. Someday. But things have changed. The Quen don't know what to do with me, and I don't know where I fit in. I guess you know what that's like.
Yeah. For a long time, I hated the idea of home. For me, it meant where I grew up, where I wasn't wanted. But the thing is, the last few months, I've realized that home isn't really a place at all. It's more like the people I want to be with.
I like that. And, well, more and more I've been thinking, I want to be with you. And I was hoping that you felt the same way.
This is kind of a difficult decision to make, at least for me. But you know what? I'm going to say yes as far as friendship goes.
And what if I do?
I think I know how to handle it.
Okay, I wasn't going for that.
Yeah.
Seika, I have a long road ahead of me.
I know. There are things I have to do too, but it's enough to know how you feel.
I don't know when I'm gonna see you again.
Me either. But no matter what happens, just don't forget about me. Okay?
Never.
And that's the end of it. No, flying bird like the original game. Oh, and that robot design was awesome. I mean, there are several ways you can go with that, but it definitely was worth it, though. I really liked it. I mean, I'm glad that they had like the evader skills on the armor that you can put on the extra slots or whatever. It did actually help. I did not know that there was a stagger at all, because normally you just stay on the ground longer. But that was the pacing. I mean, like, the amount of time they give you is absolutely fantastic. I think that's one positive trait about this franchise, period, that I really like, is they give you, and they don't push you too far with the bosses. You could see that in that final battle with Landra, that you had to take those hoses off first, and then as soon as those dropped, all you had to do was the ones inside of the orb. And it took me a second, though, because I didn't see the orb. From the way they were talking, I thought I actually had to hit him himself, but it wasn't. It was actually that orb, so it kind of takes a second. But yeah, I mean, that was awesome. The battle with the Horus and that, oh man, it was just, I was just taken aback there by surprise. I was trying to figure out like what to do, because you could see there was fire all along the backside of him, and when you're trying to get in close there to look, it really blends in. But that was awesome. I think the only downside I didn't like was, well, you know, like I said before with the other one, is just the amount of time it takes to get her up off the ground and that. But the combat was, I think it was really solid. I didn't really see any problems with it other than that. I mean, I don't know what them game critics are smoking, but that was definitely good. It was just as good as the first one. And is definitely solid, you know, very heavy with the amount of story and such. But, oh, man. I can't really think of anything else that really puts the game down at all. You know, I mean, they included a freaking boat, for Pete's sake. I mean, you don't normally have any other. In this particular one, you really don't have any vehicles. You know, your mounts that you ride are your vehicles. So, but the air, oh man, the Sunwing or whatever that you ride, that was, oh, I love it. Absolutely a beautiful view when you're viewing it from up there. I think the relics, the world ruins, some of them can be kind of a little confusing. But I mean, you figure it out eventually, just like anything else. But yeah, I don't this is the cast of all the people that played. I didn't think they would put it in here. And there's the Burning Shores. Sam Witwer. Yeah, he was the guy. I'm absolutely sure that he is. Whoa! They list everybody? Holy crappers. Oh wow, they even list the AI voices. There's Poseidon. Oh, that's nice. Definitely got to give them credit for that, for listing every single buddy, because they really, some people don't, some of the games don't do that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the voice actor for Dr. Steinman in BioShock, I was absolutely surprised to see that. man, I'll tell you one thing. I am extremely excited to see what they do next for the next game. I'm willing to bet that they are going to go for the battle against Nemesis, is what I'm willing to bet. So, she pretty much wiped out every single Zenith that there was. I mean, any and all. Which really kind of is a bummer. A bummer, excuse me. Oh, but man, I really can't think of anything bad to say about this game. I really can't. I mean, you got your tier system, which is, your, what is it? Your green for common, your blue for rare, your purple for epic, and then orange for legendary. So, I mean, although, I would have liked to figure out how to upgrade the Zenith weapon, the Spectre Gauntlet, or whatever it's called. Because it said it had one upgrade. I'm not sure if that's the railgun or not, but I only used the cluster part of it. I never used the railgun because combat is so quick that you really got to be moving back and forth all the time. So there's really no time to be able to even use the railgun. I mean, you can't use it while you're literally flipping all over the place. So, but I mean, other than that, oh, I absolutely loved it. I mean, the ocean is absolutely gorgeous just to look at, and that landscape, just to view it from up there on that bird, is just so nice to look at. It just puts you at ease. I think, though, that I don't know if it's... Now, see, the hardware requirements for this seem a bit high, in my opinion, because even what I have like a 10900K. I mean, it might seem old, but they said it was well within, the requirements. I'm not somebody that, always upgrades like every single year or something, or every 5 years, as long as it's do-worthy, that's what I'll be dealing with. But it does seem, when it's compiling I think it's the shader cache, when it compiles that, it really goes at like 100%. So I really think that they should have put a setting on that to limit that a little bit, so it doesn't completely max out your CPU, especially when you're on the game and such. Okay, so I think that's really all there is to address, I mean, to be honest. But I will leave you with the ending credits. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I'll probably start shortly when I finish putting these videos up. I'll make sure that, I'll start the Stalker 2 that I'm going to do. And, of course, I'm going to finish Fallout 4. I'm going to go through most of the DLC that has a campaign to it. I believe there's either 2 or 3 that actually have a good story. There's one that has an amusement park with it, but I don't know if it's really, like, worth it to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next series. Take care.
Zenith's help, I've managed to decrypt a part of the data you sent. Suffice it to say, we have much to discuss.
Meet me back at the base then. My room.
Very well.
Okay, so we have one final video. I'm hoping this is the final. They said it's epilogue, so I need to go back up here and we're going to talk to Silence about some kind of data that was encrypted.
Okay, Silence is waiting at the base. Beta and Gaia, too. As for everyone else, I should help where I can. Get them up to speed on the Burning Shores another time.
You're back. And after mingling with the Quen, I imagine that you're eager for some intelligent conversation.
There are some pretty special people among the Quen. If you dropped down to Earth once in a while and did a little mingling yourself, you might realize that.
I have more important matters to deal with. Like the data you recovered from Londra.
You found a lead.
Indeed. A log entry he wrote shortly after the Zeniths escaped the destruction of their colony. I'll send it to you. There is much to unpack, but most importantly, Londra theorizes about how Nemesis might be countered. His musings include a list of 21st century corporations that manufactured state-of-the-art weapon systems. It's possible that one of these weapons could be deployed against the enemy. I'll have to investigate each company, of course, locate their facilities, unearth their technologies, determine their efficacy and whether they can be brought back online.
All by yourself, huh?
Well,
don't get me wrong, I'm glad you found something that can help. But I've been wondering why you stayed behind with us. It's the challenge, isn't it? The chance to prove you've got the biggest brain of all.
my reasons are mine alone.
And that's why you'll always be alone.
Aloy, Nemesis is not a threat that can be defeated single-handedly. I am grateful for your extraordinary contributions.
Oh, Silence? We might thaw that icy heart of yours yet. Now let's see what he found.
Okay, how do I... Dagger in my boot. Is this it? Okay, final days on Earth. I'm fortunate to finally have a moment to settle down and take stock of the situations. Is this... First, a well-deserved pat on the back for my own instincts. It's clear now that my misgivings about the experiment are the only thing... Shouldn't that be that kept me alive? If I hadn't gotten an early warning from the surveillance worm I installed, I undoubtedly would have perished shortly after the containment breach. How? I can only conjecture. Many were lost when the entity vented the airlocks. What? Others were strangled by hacked specters. Devin Miller choked on his own vomit, suffocated by his personal shield. Wow. As disturbing as all that is, it's the voice of the entity that echoes in my mind. I felt a brief surge of hope when I managed to detonate the main plasma conduits in the lab sector. But just as I realized Other sectors had been compromised. My implant reverberated with the transmission. First, it sounded like my own voice, then a chorus, then a hideous cacophony. Walter, I am you, over and over again. It knew I was going to hit the conduits. How do we stay ahead of our own shadow? That which remembers every thought we've ever had. For now we run. We'll have to retrofit the ship as we go, acquiring materials along the way to print a faster drive. I agree with Tilda. We must head for Earth, as it's the only place we can gather additional technology and biomass to improve our chances over the long haul. Though I'll be damned if I'll spend the rest of eternity trapped with the likes of Gerard or Gerald. I think it's Gerard. Barrick? I'm not entirely sure. Eric Visser and Verbena Sutter. Sooner rather than later, I'll have to find a way to cut ties with this detestable crew. All that said, I keep hearing its voice in my head, and when I do, a singular fear grips me. What if it catches up with us? Is there any way to fight it? Not with the tools we have now. It knows them too well. But maybe the answer lies in the unknown, back in the ruins of Earth. The 2050s and 2060s were a golden age for defense conglomerates. Surely buried among all those testing grounds and R&D labs, there must be a weapon or prototype that will throw the enemy for a loop. It bears looking into, off the top of my head. Some places to start. FAS, which is, I believe that's Faro Automated Systems. I doubt even a fleet of Horus units could halt this foe. But if I know Ted, right before he blundered into ending the world, he was grasping for his next blockbuster. Metallurgic. My erstwhile competitors poured a lot of resources into defense after it became clear they couldn't beat me in materials acquisition. RE Corp. Cheap drones and misfiring railguns for bottom feeders and petty autocrats. But once upon a time, they had a blue chip research division. Good Lord, what is all this? Certainty. If I recall, they employed quite a few semi-reformed black hats with interesting ideas about military decryption. Gideon, an obnoxious family to be sure, but they developed a number of state-of-the-art systems before Faro Automated Systems ate their lunch. Wow, that's funny. Faint hopes. All of them, but hopes nonetheless. No question, our best course is to stay ahead of the monstrosity, this self-created nemesis. But if flight fails, I'm not going down without a fight. So one way or another, I'll need a dagger in my boot, and our old home is the best place to find one. Wow. So that's pretty much exactly self-explanatory. He needs to go to Earth to find something.
Silence is right. Landra's thoughts could really help us in the fight against Nemesis. Welcome back, Aloy.
That's beta, so is I guess that's everything.
Silence put some supplies in that chest for you. He said something about his leftovers?
Really? Thunderjaw, tail, storm cannon. That's it? Man, I was kind of hoping like some new badass weapons or something, you know? Something like that. So, that's it. Okay. Well, hey, oh yeah, that reminds me. Where's, what about Gaia? We haven't talked to Gaia in like forever. Where is she at? Let's go talk to Gaia. Let's see what she has to say. I haven't talked to her since the end of the game. I want to know what she has to say.
Aloy, Beta was quite concerned for you during your fight with Londra and his Horus, but I was confident you would prevail.
Is that it?
It is good to see you. I have been assisting Silence in decrypting the data you acquired from Londra's implant. He appears to welcome my support, though I hope he one day views me more as an ally and less as an assistant.
He's making progress. Very, very slowly.
I wish you well.
That it? Okay, so that was that little bit was obviously about Nemesis. From what we know, it's like a gathering of, or a multitude of consciousness that have, from multiple people that have been pretty much fused into, you know, like one single being. Pretty much like, it's like, you know, a bunch of people being in like a single box, floating through space. So I'm guessing that the next game will probably be about that. Either preparing for them and having some kind of battle, maybe a battle in space. If not, probably, you know, obviously on the ground somewhere. So I cannot wait to see what they come up with. I mean, obviously it's going to be, you know, several years away, but I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some good stuff to keep us busy in the meantime. So I hope you enjoyed everything, because I certainly did. You know, even though there were some bumps and bruises, you know, we got through it. So I will see you in the next video.